sound like drifting?
That's all it does. And then the blow off.
Sounds like a Honda Civic that has like a 8-inch exhaust pipe on it. Na na na, ba, na 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 na, wah.
My name is Taz. Everybody calls me Taser online. You know, I got my outfit on today. It's a rainy day. I've been drifting for, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years, on and off. Started with an IAS 300, now I got a Corvette, so you know, Corvette drip, you know what I'm saying? New Balance game, all that good stuff. I afford my car, so what I did, I traded my IAS 300, and I basically spent the same amount of money getting this car wheeling and dealing. So that's how I got the car. How do I afford it? I do what this guy's doing right now. I shoot videos. You guys need a real video. You know, Greg shoots, but you know, I do it for a living, you know. So, you know, I love Greg, but you know, I taught him what he knows. Anyways, yeah, so I afford this car by keeping it simple. It's got mini-man angle kit. All I do is get tires for it. I don't do nothing to the engine bay, nothing special. I got only other thing I got is a thermostat. That's it. Keep it simple. It drives every day, turns right on, good to go.
All right, my name is Clayton. How do I afford the setup that I have right now? So in the mornings, I work at Ramsey Race Prep, and I help build cars, do maintenance and stuff like that. And then in the evenings, I go and I do wraps. So that's kind of how I do it as far as work-wise, how I afford it. How do I budget for it? Really, I just kind of try and spend as little money as possible. I don't know. I have 2 different cars, so I try and alternate like which I drive as far as gas-wise. And then what I like to do is build my credit. So I swipe my credit card, then you know I'll pay off the event over like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. Kind of try and get it done like that.
All right, so my name's Kevin. I run Renspec Industries in Katy, Texas. We do a bunch of vehicle wraps and some drift car builds. I am sitting on my lovely C7 here. It just works and I drive it all the time. How do I afford this thing? I got really lucky and I have a sugar mama. But it's actually a pretty great marketing tool for my business. It brings me a lot of customers and stuff. So having something a little bit extra brings the attention that we need to the company to make the money to pay to come out and drive this thing. Done.
All right. My name is Sam Kong. I own this 1990 Toyota Cressida. So I built this car in 2019. I had another Cressida that I transferred all the drivetrain over. And basically, how I afford this, I bought this early on, so cars were pretty cheap back then. This car I got on Facebook for $750. The motor set I got in 2013 off Craigslist for $1,600, and that came with the R154 transmission, which is pretty expensive now. And basically slowly worked my way from stock to what it looks like right now. I've been driving probably about 3 years and I'm still learning. This car is quite a challenge to drive because of how I tuned it. It's got a ton of power and all that power comes on over 3,000 RPM. So I've done everything that I could to reduce the turbo lag. Oh, okay, yeah, for tires I try to minimize tire wear, so I installed some sprayers to spray water to try to cool down the tires when I drift. That kind of helps with tire wear. But really I am not as aggressive, so I don't drive as hard. So coming around some long sweepers, I dial it back a little bit. That saves saves some tires. For engine parts, I kind of go incrementally. So I'll start with like a turbo setup, and then I'll add injectors, engine management. So I kind of phased approach. All in all, I've got a ton of money, and I didn't do it all at once. It was just gradual.
Hello, my name is Ashton McGlone. I've been driving for probably about a year and a half now, and I budget my car basically not get the cheapest thing, but things that people find to work that are within my budget. Like My angle kit, I didn't go full like, what do you call it, Wise Fab. I just did the simple GK Tech angle kit, and then coilovers for it. And arms in the rear are all GK Tech. They're not like crazy expensive, they're a couple $100. And then tires, Kendas, they're like 120, 100, couple $100. It's only a couple grand. The real expensive part is like whenever something expensive breaks, like the motor, but luckily that hasn't happened because these are pretty reliable until something bad happens.
What's up, everybody? I'm Randall Waters with IAS Drift. We're out here at the Police Academy. So how do I afford my current drift setup? Basically, I built this car about 12 years ago. So the operating cost is a lot less than building a car. It's more of just maintaining a car and buying tires, which is much more affordable. This car makes about 400, it's probably about 350 right now at its release level. So it doesn't like super murder tires. It's not like super heavy. I think it's around like 3,000 pounds or 2,800 pounds with me in it. There's a Corvette for your audio. Basically, I just buy what I need. So I know what my consumption is. So I use 2 to 4 tires per event. I get about 2 to 4 hours of driving depending on how I cool the tires and how many laps I do in a row. If I do 10 laps in a row, the tires are only gonna last for 15 laps. If I do 2 laps, but I space it out, I could have a set of tires last for 25 laps. So I just kind of use that measuring, Corvette again. I use that measuring tool of knowing my car and knowing my consumption, and then that's what helps me know my consumables. The car gets an oil change every couple of events. E85, which is more expensive but still really cheap. Cost of broken stuff, you know, that's another big one. Usually if you spend money on good quality parts in the beginning, like name brand, a lot of times you're gonna have less failure and problems with that. That's one thing that I've tried to follow through with the things that I do. You know, some stuff it really doesn't matter if you buy like, you know, I don't know, like cheap wheels or something. That's not a big deal to me if you like break apart a wheel, because that's like something that gets broken. But you know, like if you're building an engine, obviously like spend the money on the good rods, bearings, and pistons. You know, quality machine shop. Yeah, so sustainability for drivers that want to do this a long time, don't build a 600 horsepower car. Get a car that is 250 to like 400 wheel. Try to find a car that weighs less than 3,000 pounds, or get, you know, ideally with driver weight, 2,600 pounds would be one of the numbers with a 265, 35, 18 tire. In my opinion, that gets the best tire wear. You'll get the best fuel mileage. It'll be the least load on your clutch. It'll be the least load on your engine. And usually things live the longest at that load. Anytime you run higher than that, that's when things start to get considerably more expensive in my experience. Yeah, some of the more shy people are like kind of like scared to approach. I feel like everybody's approachable. You're approachable in a killer driver. I'm approachable. Rudy's kind of approachable sometimes. Yeah, that's debatable. But like everyone's approachable, you know, like, all right, Greg is a phenomenal driver. I hope to drive with him in the very near future. And a great editor and director. Dominic's a killer photographer. You know, I'm just really grateful for today and all the people that have come together for IAS Drift and created this to what it could be. And you know, I look forward to, you know, the future and kind of some of the plans and some of the things we're, you know, dreaming up to do. You know, I think it's going to be super rad. And I'm grateful to have all you guys to be a part of it. You know, come approach me if you have any questions. You know, like, don't be scared to whatever, message me on Facebook or ask for my number or whatever, hit me up, you know. Don't hit me up at 1 o'clock in the morning, but, you know, be reasonable. Thanks, guys.
Is this a taxi? You do ride share? You do ride share?
It's a fake taxi. I got flab. I drink too much beer. So, I line up, especially today because it's wet. I was ready for a story though. All right. The car's quiet, so like it needs a story. It's just like, that's all it does. All right, let's see if I can recreate this. That's a wrap.